Hey, it's Sasha Evdokov, and thanks for joining me. In this video, I'd like to share with you 3 things that you need to look at and focus on in your online business in terms of lifespans. Now, you might be wondering, why is it that you want to look at the lifespans of your business? Because what difference does it make? Well, the thing is if you have a very short lifespan, then the profitability that you can make from your online business is going to be limited for a very short window. Think of this as the get-rich-quick scheme, or think of it like, you're trying to make as much money as you can within a shorter period of time because the lifespan will eventually expire. Now, if you have a longer lifespan, then you'll be able to make more money consistently time and time again, or have businesses that will continue to last for many, many years. So the 3 main lifespans that you should focus on if you're running an online business is number 1, the content, number 2, the products, and number 3, the lifespan of the business. Now, you may have more lifespans beyond that and other things that you want to look at, such as if you're running a machine shop, you'll be looking at the lifespan of your equipment. But if you're running an online business, the 3 main things that I've seen with internet-based businesses is the lifespan of the content, the lifespan of the products, and the lifespan of your business itself. Now, I also like to think of the lifespan of our customers. What's the lifespan or the lifetime value of a customer? But since we cannot fully control a customer in this video, I'm going to leave it out. So let's take a look at the content. The primary thing that starts an online business is really the content. This is what fuels the internet, is content. Whether that's music content, whether that's video-based content, whether that's just images, pictures, or article-based content, it's information that feeds the internet. Now, if you have content that only lasts for a year, a couple years, or just a few months, for example, very time-sensitive news, things that happen in the press, or maybe something like tutorials on Windows 98, those have a certain lifespan, maybe 1 or 2 years, or maybe a few years, but they eventually end. So when that time runs out, as well, your blog content or the internet content that you're posting will also slowly start to die out. Since content brings in that traffic and gets that initial hook for your online visitors, it's important to think, how long can you make your content last? And the longer that you can make your content last, the less of it that you have to do, or the more of it that can apply for many years to come. The second lifespan that you want to focus on when it comes to your business is the product lifespan. And knowing and understanding how long your product can last in the marketplace will allow you to capture sales for a lot longer period. Even these days, cell phone companies or cell phones, they only last for a couple of years until technology gets old or until just things aren't working as well. And that is just because a lot of the software gets updated, and then after the software gets updated, the hardware is a lot older and may not be able to handle the software. So when it comes to cell phones, they may have a 2 to 4 year life cycle. Now, when it comes to a book, for example, you have a book that may last for 100 years, or depending on the copyright, if the author decides to renew that copyright. But you can capture making profits and sales from that book for many, many years, so long as that the content that's inside of the book can still apply. Now, in this book example, this is Business Launchpad, and this is one of my books. The content in this book can last for 20, 40, 60 years, if not longer, because a lot of the concepts that are inside the book apply to human psychology, apply to sales psychology, and that changes very slowly. Now, if I wrote a book or had a title that focused on Facebook marketing tactics, or even MySpace marketing tactics, you probably know how long MySpace was on the internet. And even though Facebook right now is very popular, over time things do change, and even in the website itself, the concepts, the techniques, they will all change. So I may only be able to have a 2 to 4 year or even 6 year, let's say on the long term, of that book being profitable and applicable to the customers that are purchasing that book. Because once Facebook would change their algorithm, change the structure, all the things that would be written in that book or in that product would be obsolete. So always think, how long can your product's life cycle last? And the longer that they last, the longer you can hold on to that product and continue selling it. If you only have a short product life cycle, this really limits your availability to sell that product or offer it to your customers. Either then you'll have to create a new product or acquire it from a wholesaler, distributor, or whatever. But if you're inventing or creating your products, you have to look at that life cycle because there's a lot of time, energy, value, and money that goes into creating products. Now, the third and final lifespan that you need to really be aware of is understanding the lifespan of your own business. What's the lifespan that that business has in the current world? And if you don't continue to evolve, that lifespan may be short. So you need to be constantly innovating within your business and constantly improving. So take, for example, if you had a business in the 1800s where you were kind of like a taxi transporting things by horse and carriage. And if the name of your business was Horse and Carriage Transportation, then that business would probably have lasted a short period of time until maybe railroads took more into effect and people started transporting more and more goods by railroad. And then eventually that got replaced by automobiles. Now, if you were just in the transportation business and you evolved time and time again with every new life cycle, then you probably would have continued and still had a business still today. But things do change over time and you need to be mindful and aware of how things evolve. Now, Kodak made a huge mistake back in the 90s when it didn't embrace the evolution of the digital cameras. So it's important for you to really look at that lifespan of your business and see how is it that you can see into the future. What's the lifespan? How much longer can it last? And what is it that you need to do in order to evolve your business to make sure that it continues moving forward and still stays alive? So those are the three things that you need to really watch, especially in the online business, but in business in general, is that content, the information, the message. How long can that lifespan last? Second thing is the products. How long can your product last? And the third and final thing is the overall business. How long can it be sustainable for? Now, of course, there are many other things that you need to be aware of when considering lifespan of your customers, such as the lifetime value of a customer. So you're always looking at that, looking at things like the equipment that you use, the lifespan of the equipment, and when you would need to reinvest money to get more equipment. But overall, in terms of online businesses, focus on those three things, and that should at least kind of keep you somewhat out of trouble. Thanks for sticking with me and watching this video. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more training videos like this one, go ahead, click one of the thumbnails right below this video and we'll continue learning together. But if you want to see some of my more in-depth video training mini lessons, then go ahead, click this link, and when you get there, enter your name and email address. I also tend to release great product specials if you're on the newsletter list, so keep an eye out for that and check out some of the other courses that I have available on building a profitable business on that website when you're there.